The views and opinions expressed by participants in the following public affairs program do not necessarily reflect the position or beliefs of WDEF or its staff.
Since 1954, this is Point of View, the world record-holding public affairs program produced at the studios of WDEF-TV Chattanooga and with underwriting community support. Hello, I'm Maurice Lewis, and thank you very much for joining us for this edition of Point of View. Let's get started, or how do we get started? A lot of us have ambitions and things that we've been thinking about doing. I have a great idea if I just could get started. Well, guess what? There is a place here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and when we turn to you, we'll say, what do you know about this kind of place, and who do we have as our wonderful guest today, Melanie?
Well, today we have AJ Willis from the Company Lab. Thank you for joining us, AJ.
Of course.
Is this the woman that we know as the startup maven?
She is the startup maven.
Sounds good to me. Yes, I am the startup maven.
Well, we're really happy to have you because I know that you've been involved in Startup Weeks for a couple of years now.
Yes, this is my third year involved in Startup Week.
Oh, great. So for viewers that don't know about it, tell us a little bit about what Startup Week is about.
So Startup Week is for anyone, not just someone that has an existing business, but maybe you're thinking about it. I like to think of Startup Week as a week of professional development for free.
I mean, I think I agree with you on that one. I personally just created my schedule for Startup Week, and it is packed with events.
Yes.
And I know that Company Lab is a big part of that, but tell us a little bit about Company Lab and what your mission is.
So the Company Lab is a front door to the entrepreneurial ecosystem here. So if you have an idea, it can be on an index card, or you can already have traction and have maybe the first round of funding already raised. We can help continue to connect you to the resources you need to be successful.
But there are a lot of people out there who have that lazy brother-in-law or lazy sister-in-law who is perfect for your couch and always has another $1 million idea.
Yeah.
How do you get them involved, and can they afford it?
You know, what I love about the Company Lab is we have access to a curriculum that means that I don't have to tell them that they have a bad idea or it's time to get off of their mom's couch. What we do is we map them through the canvas, and we actually have an opportunity to do that on October 21st coming up. And we map them through a business model canvas. We start with their customer, and we end up saying, hey, so what do you think? You think you have a customer for that great idea or not? And if they do, then we continue to support them. If they don't, then hopefully they're inspired to come up with something else.
Before you get to your question, I have one more. There are so many churches in this area, and they're always trying to do things to raise money. What's in it for them?
For churches?
Sure.
During Startup Week, that's interesting. I think they should come out. I think they should come and see. And then if they don't see an opportunity for them, then what you don't see is an opportunity for you to create it. So then get involved next year.
Because they always have some type of fundraiser or something to raise money for the bishop's house or the bishop's new car or whatever. Oh, you know how I am with that.
Well, but you bring up a good point. I've been to Startup Week for a couple of years. Usual suspects, right?
Yes.
I can walk into a room and see a lot of the same faces, but I know that's not necessarily the intent. So who is invited to Startup Week, to your event?
One of the things we always say is everybody is not your customer, but I'll make an exception for Startup Week and say everyone is our customer that week. Anyone is welcome during the week. We have over 150 events scheduled Monday through Friday, and I believe you'll find something for you, at least one workshop.
Would you just mention over 150 events? What kind of events?
Anything from how to read body language to how to build your own personal brand, marketing, anything. Just about anything you can imagine.
And you know, I always like to remind people there are free sessions to talk to lawyers.
Yes.
There's free sessions to talk to accountants. There's free sessions to talk to people in social media.
There's a parade. There's a dance party. There's yoga.
It runs the gamut, but you can get a lot of really great experiences in one place.
Yeah.
Where do all the events take place this year?
So you can visit Startup Week Chattanooga, I believe, .com, and find out who is all hosting an event. Find something that you like. I would encourage you to put everything on your calendar. You probably won't get to everything, but at least make sure that it's on your schedule. And then come and join us on Saturday morning, because I guarantee you'll be inspired to get started.
Well, one of the things that I think would be really helpful and as a bonus, it's a great confidence builder to get out and see what else is available and to know that you can get this kind of help for no money.
Yes, yes. I think that is one of the gems about our city. I'm not sure what's happening in other cities, but definitely here, if you want to start, you're in the right place.
Who funds this?
Who funds Startup Week?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different funders. There's EPB, CoLab, a lot of players, Lamppost Group. Many of them are listed on the website.
So I think what I was actually getting at with the where is actual physical location. So CoLab is located
in the Edney building on the first floor.
And most of the events are in that building or in surrounding buildings in downtown Chattanooga,
yes.
correct?
So Base Camp is the hub, and there'll be plenty of places for you to sit outside and co-work. So get out of your office and come hang out with us.
Okay, define Base Camp, because I think a lot of people don't know
yeah,
what that
so
is.
Base Camp is like where a lot of the events happen. And we encourage folks to get out of their office, bring your laptops, and engage with other people. You might meet a graphic designer who's talking to a lawyer that may not have had a collision before. And so Base Camp is one of my favorite places to work.
Miller Plaza, though, right?
Miller Plaza,
and
yes.
And you can sit in a hammock, I think,
yes.
usually. I think last week, every time I was there, I had a muffin or a cup of coffee.
Yes, there's
and
complimentary
there's usually food.
treats.
Yes, so
yeah.
if you like food and want to hear something interesting, I think
food,
it's worth it.
Free. You can get there with public transportation or you can park nearby. I want to thank you very much for being our guest here. Please don't go away. When we come back, we'll be celebrating youth and technology and a fun place that's new where you can do things. That and more when Point of View continues.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hello, I'm Leslie Smith, and welcome back. I have with me today Carla Asconas. She's the Executive Director of Chatec. And I also have with me Lee Walker. He's the founder and he's the treasurer of Chat Lab Makerspace. And so I'm going to have the both of you explain your programs and just share with the public about what's coming up. First off, Carla,
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. The Chattanooga Technology Council, known as Chatec, is a nonprofit membership organization for technology companies and tech-enabled companies. And we're a membership organization, so our members are technology-related companies who either provide software, consulting, hardware, and the companies that use those, which is really almost every company today. Most companies are dependent upon technology to be able to deliver their service or to use computers in a variety of different capacities. So we're a membership organization. We provide a variety of services, including monthly programs on a topic of interest to many people in the tech world. And then we have some special groups for executives within the tech industry, information security managers. We have a program for women in tech called Chatec Women. So that's kind of the big part of what we do. We also do a lot to promote technology training in Chattanooga. We have a coding camp for public school students in the summer. We host a developers conference also in the summer. This year we served 325 developers from around the region. We give scholarships to college students who are in an IT major. So that's part of what we do to really support tech workers in the greater Chattanooga area. And then we also like to promote Chattanooga as a tech hub. So we give out the Early Innovator Award every year in the fall at the Chamber Spirit of Innovation Luncheon. And that's an opportunity for us to recognize new budding businesses that have a technology breakthrough of some sort.
Okay, and Lee, will you explain Chat Lab? I actually visited the lab, and I'm a tomboy at heart, and I enjoyed just being in that space. Will you explain what it is?
We're a non-profit as well. It's a large area where we've got a full wood wood shop, a full metal shop. You can weld, 3D print, laser cutters. We've got all sorts of things, and it's a member. You pay a membership, you get 24/7 access to the space, and we're right there on North Shore, so it's walkable distance to grab something in the incubator. Yes, they're never going to. We're a anchor tenant. We have that space forever. So it's where everyone can meet that have an interest in electronics, or you just want to make furniture. Some people want to make furniture in the woodworking shop. Some people actually make things and run an Etsy store out of it. Actually, the local escape room builds all his sets. He's a member of our makerspace, and he builds all his sets for the escape room things that you may have done around. So we're looking for members, people that are interested in. It's like having your own really large workshop with everything in it.
And anyone can come?
Anyone can come. There are a number of dangerous things in it. We've got class 4 lasers, we've got table saws. So yeah, we make sure people are trained before they're allowed to use them. And we try and teach people new things. I personally do a lot of 3D printing and laser cutting. Some of the guys are woodworkers, some guys are welding. We're running Python coding classes the next couple of weeks. We've also got some using LED lights and strips and how to wire them all together and use them. We've done build a bookshelf, learn how to use pocket screws. So woodworking things. Also, there's a welding class going on currently, so learn to weld. We've got all sorts of things going on. If you don't see it, mention it and it might happen. It's all sorts of people have different ideas and different strengths and different skills, and we all teach it to each other, and it's just a big group of friendly people wanting to build things. Some are technology, some are simple, simple as woodworking. So.
And again, Chattanooga, you have some events coming up, some big events.
Yes, we do. We have some real big events. We'll be giving out the Early Innovator Award on October 20th at the Chamber Spirit of Innovation Award. And then we have our biggest fundraiser of the year on November 9th. It's our CXO auction. And basically what we do is we have some of the technology leaders in local companies volunteer their time. They volunteer to meet with a company for 2 hours. And the way you get the meeting is to bid on those individuals in the auction. So the prime invitations for the event go out to people who are in the tech industry and would like to have interactions with some of our local companies.
Well, we have less than a minute, so is there anything else that you all would like to add? How can the public reach you?
People can find out about our programs at chatechcouncil.org. That's ChatechCouncil.org.
Okay.
You can get us on chatlab.org. We do a lot of things on meetup.com, so if you look for chatlab on meetup.com. Also, every Tuesday at 7 p.m., actually at the Business Development Center, we have an open night that anyone can turn up and meet everyone and see what it's like. They just turn up and say hi to everybody. So it's open, public, open night every Tuesday at 7.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming. Next up, the Equal Opportunity Day breakfast is coming up.
We need a claim number?
When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
Hello, and thank you very much for staying with us for this edition of Point of View. You know, when we talk about things that have aged well, Point of View is a good example. We're 63 years old, older than a lot of other things, but the gentleman that's with us today represents an organization that's about half our age, but doing very important work. And we want to turn, Jasmine, we want to turn to you and say, we are welcoming a very special guest today.
We are. We want to welcome Warren Logan. He is CEO and President of Urban League of Chattanooga, right?
Yes, thank you, Jasmine.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine.
Good,
Thank
good.
you, Maurice.
It's a younger organization.
Younger.
Only 35 years old.
We're
Right.
35, but the national organization is 100+ years old.
Right,
There we go.
right, a long time. That's good stuff. So here today we're going to talk about not just the organization, but you guys have a event coming on next week,
yes,
right?
Yes, we do. We have our annual Equal Opportunity Day breakfast coming up.
Okay.
And we're going to have John Hope Bryant is going to be our keynote speaker, and he's involved in financial services, and he has served the last 3 sitting presidents of the United States. So he's done a lot of incredible work. He's an ordinary person, but he's doing extraordinary work throughout the country. for all kinds of people as such. So it's paying off in a lot of different instances. And so I think if you miss this one, you're going to really miss the bomb.
We don't want people to miss the reason. What is the Urban League and why do you exist?
Right. Well, one of the reasons we exist is to bring people out of desperate positions into a more prosperous position, you know, not only from the standpoint of financial services, but also from the standpoint of education. We service about 14,000 people a year. And when we started out servicing maybe about 100 or 150. Oh. So we've grown phenomenally over the years. And so we do anything from education services, and even though next week we're dealing with Startup Week, we also provide business counseling as well. It's called the Next Level Services. Okay. And that's for just existing businesses only. So we provide a number of different services, all of which impact our community and some of which impact our community in a very phenomenal way.
When you say people, what type of people are we focusing on?
Well, for the breakfast or for all of our services?
For the organization and for the breakfast.
Well, when the Urban League started out, basically just servicing African Americans and such. As time has gone on, though, we're servicing persons who have basically a need. And the only criteria is that essentially that you need to have a social or economic disparity in order for us to provide services. So that's who we service now. The breakfast is really for everybody. Most of the people, of course, who attend the breakfast is at 7:30 in the morning. Most of the people that turn out basically have been business people over the past. So we have people representing all corners of the community to come to the breakfast. And to date, nobody has been dissatisfied. It starts at 7:30 a.m. and you're out of there on or before 9 a.m. So you don't come to spend half the day. But it's a phenomenal way to start your day out, but particularly if you leave there and going to work. You leave there charged up and ready to do something important for the community.
Well, one of the other values of this is an opportunity for people to bring your business cards or bring your cell phone with you so that you can take pictures of the other business cards. It's a fantastic networking opportunity.
It's a superb networking opportunity, and I guarantee you, after listening to this man, you're really going to be.
Would you hold that up so we can get a look at it?
Sure.
We normally don't hawk books.
Well,
you were so kind to bring it with you.
Well, I thought,
and I asked, well, what are you going to do with that book? Well, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah. Well, it's called the memo.
Here, may I hold that?
Sure, please. Yeah.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
That's
his latest publication.
So it doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's what he's selling, and he's the keynote speaker.
He is a keynote speaker, and I can say that in addition, of course, he started out with $40, like a number of persons, and he didn't start out with a silver spoon, but I guarantee you this particular book, really a number of persons that come will be able to identify with his story. And he's going to say some things that really rattle your brain and charge your brain and get you to really think. It's not a how-to book, but it's a how-to think, you know, particularly in this country. We have so many challenges in this country and all over the world. We know we're having challenges, but he's saying some things in such a way, not to offend anybody, but it's going to get everybody thinking. You know, wow, you know, I really did not know that. You know, so anybody that misses this, they're going to really miss a treat from the standpoint of what he has to say.
Well, when you talk about things that are happening, the climate in Washington, D.C. does not favor programs that affect people in the inner city. And with that, where do you see filling the void that exists between what we need and what the climate is in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I think one of the things that Washington, D.C. is basically teaching us all is that we cannot depend on Washington, D.C. anymore. Local communities, local governments, we have to basically take control of our communities as such. There's so much bickering going on in D.C., there's no way possible for them to get anything done. In addition to that, you have people who basically are intentionally seemingly to cause a divide. And that is tragic, you know, in terms of a country that's supposed to represent freedom, supposed to represent empowerment, supposed to represent, if you wanted to do anything at all, you come to America. Well, that doesn't send that signal anymore. It's a contrary signal that's being sent. So what it says, I think, to us, to all of us, irrespective of your background as such, is that as a community as such, we need to start looking out for our own interests and basically provide more leadership for the nation. So looks like the states are going to have to take the leadership up and basically do things on our own communities as such, And as a result of that, I think when we begin to do that, Washington, D.C. is going to have to be looking to us until we can change the name of that game that's going on on Capitol Hill.
That sounds great. So more about this event that's coming on next week. Okay, so it's from 7:30 to 9.
Yes.
How do people get tickets? How do they reserve their
They
spot?
can call us at 756-1762. They can go on our website at ulchat.net, ulchat.net. I can say now it's very important that they call as soon as possible because they're selling out.
I'm sure.
We have about 800 people that are signed up right now.
That's great.
So we are going to max out real soon if we haven't already.
So we've already maxed out in terms of time.
Yeah,
we thank you very much, Warren,
thank you,
for being
Maurice.
with us too.
Thank you,
I
Jasmine.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Jasmine.
Warren.
Welcome.
Get some good advice from the Good Health Queen when Point of View continues.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it here. So what are you waiting for? Just go to the site.
Welcome back to Point of View. My name is Nikki Nicholson. It's a pineapple thing, it's a Chattanooga thing, and it's all Naco's thing. Joining us today is my special guest, Naco Bacon, a local author here in the city of Chattanooga, here to tell you how it can be your pineapple thing. So, Naco, thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thanks for having me, Nikki.
I'm really excited to have you here to talk about your book. It's a pineapple thing. So what really inspired you to write this book, one of the 3 books that you've written?
Well, the thing that inspired me is that I'm initially from West Africa. I grew up in a tropical country called Côte d'Ivoire, and pineapple is a staple fruit back home. So I was feeling homesick this summer, and I wanted something that reminded me of home, and I decided to just write a cookbook on pineapples.
Well, that is amazing. So another thing that I've realized about this book is that it's so many health benefits. Can you explain to us the health benefits that you found in writing this book?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a runner, and I know that pineapples are great for inflammation. They're great post-workout. You can have pineapple in your water as a detox drink. And pineapples help during the winter season. Is good as a cold remedy. It's actually a better remedy than cold.
Okay, so if I have a cold, would that really work well with me?
Yes, pineapple I say to be more effective than a cold remedy.
Okay, so I heard you say, a runner. Now I know that you once was not always a runner. Can you tell me what inspired you to become a runner? Because you ran all through the city of Chattanooga with your second book, which is Strolling Through Chattanooga.
Yes, ma'am. As I was running through the city, I realized that there's so many places with sculptures and murals and even like the choo-choo, so many places that we pass by, we don't get the chance to appreciate. And I decided to write a whole book on the city of Chattanooga. But what got me to become a runner is that after having my 4th child, my husband challenged me to do something different. So I decided to start running outside, and it just changed my life.
Wow, so running outside and pineapples. Now, with that being said, the book that you wrote as far as just running through the city of Chattanooga and taking these pictures, is this something that you can also share with people who are not from the city of Chattanooga, say is your home, and show them what Chattanooga's about?
Because not being from here, I grew up in Africa, and I also grew up in France, in Paris, France. And a lot of people laugh and like, what are you doing in that city? What's in Chattanooga? So I started sharing pictures with friends and family, and eventually I was like, why not put it in the book? Because there's no book on the city of Chattanooga, at least no books that I knew of. So it was a fun way of doing something that I could show to people, and every time they visit, they have my book as a little reference. And it's also a thing that if you have company that's not from Chattanooga, you can give them a book as a gift, and they can leave Chattanooga knowing some of the coolest places to visit in Chattanooga.
That is awesome. Now, what is one of the main things you would like to encourage people about being healthy and it's a pineapple thing?
With the pineapple things, I want people to realize that as mothers, once we have children, we get stuck. We think that we're stuck. we gain the weight and we think we're stuck with the weight, or we think that we're stuck with a certain identity. And I want people to realize that it's more than that. You can be anything you want to be. But my take is that we have to know that we can start just where we are, we can use what we got, and we can do the best that we can.
I love that. Now I'm looking at your shirt. Speaking of use what we have, tell us please, who is the designer of this shirt?
I made this one myself, so I designed my own outfit. So I love making my thing. I'm not an official designer, but again, I like to start where I am and do what I can, and I make my own outfits.
Okay, can you tell us, give the viewers, if they want to reach you or book you for certain events?
If people want to reach me, I am on social media. I actually have a Facebook page that I've run for over 4 years where I share my weight loss journey, and it's called The Good Health Queen. Healthy can be done. The Good Health Queen? The Good Health Queen. So they can reach me on Facebook, or they can reach me on Instagram at Nako, The Good Health Queen.
Nako, The Good Health Queen. Well, this is absolutely amazing. And last but not least, I would like you to introduce really quick your last book.
The last book?
Yes.
This was actually the first book.
The first book.
But this was the first book. But it actually goes with the last book because both of them are about food and both of them have recipes in it. And honestly, if it wasn't for the first book, there wouldn't be this book.
Well, I totally just excited about having you here. I'd love to have you back again. Unfortunately, the time is up, and I just want to again thank you for coming on this show.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Celebrating creativity and technology when Point of View continues.
Closed captioning provided by the following.
Funding for this program is brought to you by Barnett & Company, specializing in tax-efficient strategies for the preservation and distribution of family wealth, offering continuous investment management with the focus on long-term strategies. Areas of service include investment, estate, education, and retirement planning. Barnett & Company, the power of compound returns over time. More information can be found on the web at barnettandcompany.com.